Welcome to Policy and Profit, the podcast for ambitious insurance agents and agency owners who want to build predictable, profitable businesses without chasing bad leads or begging for referrals. So, did you know the average insurance agent makes $52,000 a year and over 90% give up in their first year? It's sad but true. The top 1% doing anything remarkable with their license are making 5 to 10 times as much selling the exact same policies, earning anywhere between $150,000 and $500,000 a year. And it's not luck, it's leverage. The secret is that they are following a system to generate fresh, hot leads, book appointments, and close policies like clockwork. I've put together a no-cost blueprint just for that system that shows you how to add $5,000 to $15,000 in monthly recurring additional income in under 90 days that you can access for free. Just go to writemorepolicies.com/blueprint or click the link in the description. Today's guest is an old friend of mine, John David Booty. He is a high-performance entrepreneur, a mentor, and he's the founder of Arise Insurance Group, known for helping insurance agents just like you scale fast with no excuses, accountability, proven systems, and elite-level mentorship while unlocking their full potential in business. John, welcome to the show. Tell me something you believe is the key to succeeding in insurance sales that most agents completely overlook.
I would say probably to put it politely, the what goes on between your ears. I think that once you master mindset, I would say consistency. That would probably be number one.
And what about it? What about the consistency is what most people overlook? Like, what part about that?
I think the actual action, right? And so I think what most people do is they rely too hard on the result and not enough what they can control, right? And so like the consistency of your actions and your activities, whether that be your marketing, your lead intake, your appointments booked, it's like, what can I control as far as the output of my energy rather than what I expect to get consistently back, right? And so I always tell my guys, inconsistent actions never equal consistent income. But we wish they did.
That's just a miss. Even the mathematical equation doesn't work. You can't have inconsistent action and have consistent results or expectations. So that's really interesting. Why do you think that's overlooked? Why is consistency such a big problem in this industry? If you, in your own words.
I mean, I think that it's a problem in society, right? That's why most people are fat, right? Just being blunt,
Really?
right? I think that consistency is everything, right? Because whether you want to lose weight, I relate, a lot of my stuff to fitness because I believe in both. I think fitness is the foundation of being successful in anything you do. So it's like, why are people out of shape? Because they can't consistently keep the burger out of their mouth and their feet on the treadmill, right? Like it's the same thing with the business. I think that most people, they lack that commitment or obsession that it takes, and they assume that people are getting their results with the same activity levels they're doing, and that comparison of results is what kills people's mindset, because the realistic thing is either they have a better system than you, they're outworking you, or both, right?
That comparison, it's a dirty little Keebler elf running around in your mind saying some rather nasty things. So the comparisons in this industry, you'll see, oh, there's an event coming up, and here's what you're going to see. You're going to see people taking pictures in cars, in front of cars that are not theirs. And
Mm.
talk about comparison. So
Yeah.
that's that's a funny one, man. Something I know you're really passionate about. This carries over really well. I know you're really passionate about this whole idea of unlocking peak performance, and agents need proper training. You and I are both in agreement about that. So
Yeah.
talk more about, because something I know you're passionate about is this lack of mentorship and accountability in the industry. Kind of expand and elaborate on that with us.
Yeah, man, and I think it starts from the marketing, right? So I think that most people get recruited into this business with the ideology of work less, make more. But it's not work less and make more, it's work less or make more, right? And so I think that when they get into this business, they think, oh, push for recruiting, build a team, that's where the money is. So what happens is you have the blind leading the blind, right? And so the issue is that most people want an override, but they don't want to be an upline. And that's where most people get recruited into is a place that wants an override but doesn't want to be an upline. The upline's the 24/7, like, hey, let me answer your questions. But it's also the no BS, like I'm going to hold you accountable to what what your KPIs need to be. So like for us, I tell my guys all the time when we do an onboarding call, the first thing I say is I'm not going to set your goals, but I'll show you how to hit what you want to hit. You just can't be mad, right? So I explain to my guys, I'm essentially a GPS, right? I can tell you, I need to know where you're at, where you want to go, and I can tell you how to get there, but you got to put your foot on the gas. And if I say turn left and you turn right, don't be pissed off at me because you didn't get there, right? So it's like I think that that's the most important part is like the agent has so much emotion that they need a solid mentor to be like, hey, push the emotion aside. The issue is most people are the blind leading the blind. So most people in this business don't even know how to make 20 grand a month, yet they're preaching that you can, you know? So
If oh man, that goes to 90% of the agency owners out there. You're
yeah.
recruiting and you haven't even sold policies, man. Come on. What are you doing? And agents are funny because ego gets involved, dude. Ego. And it's any other area of life, you don't have ego attached. You know that if you don't get better at the video game, you can't beat the new boss on the new level. And that's just you get better and then you make it more difficult, and that's just a self-repeating cycle. Yet when money gets involved, we're unwilling to make ourselves look a little foolish sometimes. We say we're scared of failure. I don't believe that at all. I think you're just afraid of other people seeing you as a failure. And so it's all these biases. It's really funny. They get the license and they think that's the milestone that people are just going to line up to do business with you. That's never the case. So what should they be doing? Well, let's just say an agent's goal is $10,000 a month, and that's going to take care of all their bills for most people, for being real.
Yeah.
What would you tell a new agent?
Well, I mean, at the beginning, I assume you suck, right? And there's no problem with it. I say the bad news is you suck. The good news is you suck until you don't, right? And that's pretty straightforward because at the end of the day, it's like the first time you go to the gym, everything's awkward, everything feels weird. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. Consistency, right? And so for me, it's like I'll base our original metrics off of how to get to 10K a month off of the average new agent. And I would say you need to overcompensate your skill level with activity. So yes, as you skill up, there's systems and processes in place for you to win at a high level with less work. But on the front end, I mean, your KPI should be at least 300 plus dials a day. You should be trying to get at least 20 people on the phone so that you can present to at least 4 people a day. And so it's like that's the numbers we're shooting for in the beginning, because I think if you're not hitting 20 plus presentations a week, there's no point in being this business. And right at the end of the day, like nobody gets into the insurance world to be mediocre, because this is hands down the worst job to be broken.
Yeah, because I don't know many other places where you can write today and get paid today with some carriers, or
Yeah.
even tomorrow, later. You don't have to work 40 hours and trade your time for money at the end of the month, end of the week. You can do something today and get paid for it, which is fantastic. It's internet money. You talk to strangers and get paid. I don't know where else you can do that. So it really is beautiful. Why 4 presentations a day? Why that number?
I mean, I'm assuming 4 a day, 5 days a week. That's 20 presentations a week. I mean, I'm looking at it at this, right? If you're starting, depending on what market you're starting in, but let's say final expense, right? Like we start guys on final expense. It's a simple sale. You get paid quick. It's fairly straightforward, right? The product knowledge is this: someone dies, someone gets paid, right? Cool. Now you know all the final expense products out there. Some come with a 2-year wait period, some don't. There you go. You're welcome. But the reason being is because I'm assuming if you can present to 20 people, even if you're horrible at closing, and let's say you close at a 15%, that's 3 deals. That's $2,500 a week in annual premium, right? Consistently, you do that, there's your 10 grand.
There you guys have it. Keep it simple, stupid. It's even an acronym. It's KISS. God, I know your uplines and all that stuff out there just make things seem so complicated, but if you just do what John and I are telling you to do, it's almost impossible to not make. You will eventually get so good at it. Out of those 20 conversations, even if the numbers don't change, you change. And so you can start closing 20%, 25%. With those same 20 presentations, now you're doing 20,000 a month, 40,000 a month. Then you get into more advanced John, I know you're big into annuities and stuff like that. You can start taking out of those 40 people who buy from you a month, 4 of them will spend, they have much more price elasticity to get more advanced, but they'll spend 10 grand with you, $1 million with you out of those 4 with an annuity or something like that. And so you can, without changing your activity, you can just build this huge pipeline of people that, and what's funny is you don't lose those 20 people either if they don't buy, if they're not crazy, if they don't put out on the first date, so to speak. They'll come back 6 months later and say, oh, you're a real human, not an AI.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just don't trust people because 50 million insurance agents have blown me up.
Yeah, I mean, some of our biggest months are included with, follow-ups that we quoted and we just never got back on the phone. But I mean, I had a guy last week, he wrote, I think in commissions last week, he ended up doing almost $40,000 because he got to get an annuity out of a deal he did, right? And so it's super simple. I mean, the guy started, he's been with us for about a year now. 20 presentations a week, focusing, started with 2, 3 a week. Now he's, he does 20 presentations. He closed 15 of them, right? The guy writes very, very high, but last week caught a fat annuity, did it, an extra 20 grand. I think it was like 26 in commission that he'll get from that annuity, 26 grand plus everything he normally writes. So he ended up getting, a solid week in production. So I ain't mad at that.
No one can be mad at that. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of agents will start making that money and then they immediately raise their lifestyle to match what
Yep.
they're making. If I'm making $1 million a year, I might as well go spend it. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's the problem a lot of you will run into. So listen to John, keep it simple, stupid. Run 20 presentations a week, and then it's kind of impossible to be doing 20 presentations and still be poor and still live a life where you have to let dollars decide for you. It's impossible to do 20 presentations a week and still go to a restaurant and order off the right-hand side of the menu where the prices are rather than the left-hand side of the menu where all the pretty pictures of the steaks and green beans and potato casserole are. So that's really good. This has been really valuable for the agents and agency owners listening who want to learn more about what you do. Tell us who's a good fit to work with you and how they can get in touch.
Yeah, man. I mean, straightforward. We're pretty. I mean, I used to try to help everybody, but what I realized is that I try to help more people than want to help themselves, and so it actually took a fairly decent damper on my mental state because I want everyone to win. But what I realized is not everybody wants to win. They want the results, but they don't want the journey to get there. So if you're one that's going to complain, not be one, BS, complain, make excuses. Like I always tell my guys this, the only good excuse is you're dead, right? And if there's anything else than that, you better show up for work because we're here to make money and change lives, right? So for me, it's the people that want to plug in, they want to work hard, they want to be part of a winning team, they want to contribute to that. And I always tell people, if you're not a net positive to the agency, you're out. Right. Because I want to build something big and I want to build with the people that want to give everything to their business. And it's like this whole, work-life balance, like the work-life balance we're looking for is we work a shit ton today. I don't know if we can cuss, sorry about that.
Yeah, you're
Just so
good.
we can have a solid life in the future. So it's the people that want to run high, I don't want the minimum wage workers. And so for me, it's like if you don't want to make 250 or above, we're the wrong group because you're going to hate us, right? So if you want to push excuses aside, you want to focus on a group that wants to work out, push money, make money, serve families, and teach you how to use your license at a full capacity, you can probably best way to reach out to me is either Facebook, John David Booty, or any other social media being YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I don't really get on TikTok, but I have one. All of it's at Call of Booty 99. So that's the best way I would say Instagram's probably the best, Call of Booty 99.
Yeah, so I'll have all of John's links down below in the description. Just pick whichever one you want. Reach out to the dude if you're uh, serious, not curious about getting the most
Yeah.
out of this industry because it really is beautiful. You solve rather big problems for people, making sure all their debt is gone or whatever
Yeah.
problem you want to solve with the policy you sell. So we're going to wrap up here. Thank you so much, John, for sharing your insights on what most agents overlook, how to be more consistent, and how to have a no BS approach to the industry. For those of you interested in not making like if here's how to know if you're serious for John's agency. If you can take correction and ask what could I do differently rather than why am I wrong, blah blah blah. Any of that's probably what you're talking about, right? Someone who
Yeah.
can be real. So if
Yeah.
you're interested in getting real feedback, real results, click the link down below in the description. Go find John's links. Send him a message. Tell him Mason sent you. And if you'd like to be a guest on Policy and Profit, we're always looking for successful insurance agents and agency owners doing at least 10K a month in commissions and have unique strategies to share. You can apply at the link down below in the description. One more time, if you want to stop chasing leads and start booking qualified appointments with people who actually want to buy insurance, grab our free booked and banked blueprint at writemorepolicies.com/blueprint. Until next time, keep building that commission machine.